Hello, today we are gonna solve longest substring without repeating characters. So here is an example. In this case, we need to find the longest substring of this string, which doesn't include the same characters. So for example, here are two W's, and so in this case, we might try to iterate each character. So checking this one, and then P, and then this one, and W, and this one, and then you found duplicated characters here. So we don't want to include these characters as our answer, and so at this moment the longest characters is 2, and then we found the W's, and then we start from here again, and W's and K and E and W. Also, we found another W here, so we cannot include this one as an answer. And so we found the number of longest characters are 3 here, and so the answer should be number 3. Okay, let's say we selected P, and then we start another loop from here, and W's, and we might check the substring length, and but this kind of way is taking on squared. How we can optimize this one? And so in this case we can use a sliding window. So let's say we have 2 pointers, and starting and end. Let me just move this example here. Okay, so we have a 2 pointer here, start and end. Then so when both are pointing out these characters, we use hash map to store each index. Okay, so in this case the P is 0, then longest value is 1, right? And then we move this end index to here, end point here, and then we found the W's, and we put W here, and longest value should be 2, right? And then we move this one to here again, and we found there is a W's which is already existed in the hash map. And so in this case what we need to do is moving the start point, and so the start pointer should move to here, right? And so let's move a start point, and in this case probably you can calculate by the max start, or we have a value here, and let's say hash W plus 1, right? So this should be the next start point, because we want to skip the duplicate character, right? So the start value would be 2, right? Because a hash with a key W returns 1, and we are gonna have a 2. So the start point will be moved to here, right? So, and then we keep trying to move to the next, and we move these end pointers to here, right? And then checking whether or not this is a duplicate. If it's not duplicate, also update the longest value. And so in this case the longest value is still 2, and let's update hash map P0 W2. Yeah, actually we had to update the W's index at this moment, and I just forgot. And remember, you should update every index for each character. And K, is 3, right? And the longest value is still 2, right? So because of start point indicating here and end point indicates here. Okay, so and keep moving, end pointer should be moved to here. Okay, and then WK2, and in this case we update the longest character to 3, and the hash map is like this. Okay, and then we move this end pointer to here, and we found another W, right? So W is here, right? So we just update this one to 5 and checking whether now we should update the longest value, right? And but in this case we found a duplicate character, so we also should move this start point, and so we should move to here because based on this formula, and so start point here and end point here, and then we calculate the longest value, and it is still 3. So now we just finished the iteration of this string, and then we got the answer, longest value. So in this case, the time complexity should be O n, and also the space complexity could be O n, because we might store the number of characters in the string into the hash map. So this is a time complexity and space complexity. Okay, so this is how the longest substring without repeating characters problem can be solved. Let's start coding, and first of all we need to define a few variables. First one, longest value, let's say it's 0, and also start index 0. Then we define hash map, let's say check and character key, and it should have index value which is integer. Then let's iterate each character in the string, and so this should be index of string, and let's say character char. And okay, so now we got for statement which iterate each character. Then we need to condition that whether or not this character is in the hash map. So last found character index and check char. So if this condition is matched, it means that we found a character in the hash map. So in this case we need to update start index, right? So start index should be start index, and this one last found character index plus 1, because we want to skip the duplicate character, right? And so then we need to always updating the hash map, right? So check char is index, and also we need to update the longest value, longest, and index minus and start index plus 1, then return longest. Okay, let's run this function. Okay, it works. Today we solved the longest substring without repeating characters problem, and a couple of points here. And we need to use a hash map to make the algorithm efficient. And second, we need to use a sliding window algorithms. So those are the key points that I noticed. Thanks for watching my videos today, and see you next time.